All right, what was the, I see your wheels turning. What was you trying to do there?
Yeah, so, you know, I over time developed way too much shaft lean, just some of the things I was working on. We won't name any names on why I was doing that, but tend to get the handle of the club too forward. So one of my keys now is to keep this arm more across me so the wrist can unload at the right time, right? Because if I'm driving, if I'm putting force this way for too long along this club like I've been doing, I have to twist it down and I can't hit my long irons high enough.
Okay, what about backswing wise?
Backswing
in that conversation, what are you trying to do there?
Well, I've over the years I've gone too much across too early. You know, trying to tie my arms to my body too much. So I just feel like that I'm turning, but my arm doesn't go this way as I go back. It's like my arms are more out in front of me is my feel, and it keeps the club in a much better spot.
Okay, so you were, correct me if I'm wrong, you were taught the connection.
Big time.
Arm, chest. Okay. What actually happens, and I think this is going to go into perfectly with what you're trying to do in the downswing, what actually happens if you have to break the connection in the backswing.
Yeah, and by connection we just mean this angle, basically.
The arm to the pec.
There you
okay?
go.
So I'll use this protractor here as kind of an example. So this would be 0. Okay, and we're only looking at the arm motion in this way. Like we've done videos of lead shoulder abduction. That changes as soon as you start looking at all of the range of motion. We're just looking at one angle.
Just across the body.
Just across the body or away from the body. Adduction, abduction, okay? So my arm would be 0 right here if I just had it straight out in front of me. Yours, because I've seen your 3Ds forever, you have right around 32 degrees of adduction at address, okay? So your arm is like this at address.
Yeah.
Okay? If we keep, this is 0, it's across, and everybody's gonna be some part across of it. What has to happen, so that's connected, right? I can feel my pec and my arm connected. What has to happen in the backswing is it has to work away from each other. So my center line and my hands are actually working away. They turn at different rates until around lead arm parallel on the backswing, then that's when that goes back to roughly where you started. Now, what I was taught, and I think you were taught the same thing, is get that connection early, arms in movement. So I'm actually increasing this angle.
You're going this way.
More across early in the backswing. When we look at all the pros, they've gone the opposite way.
Exactly.
Until the very top where you start to get the arm in and then the chest starts to turn and then you get a little more angle, which is what you're trying to do in the downswing. And they basically wind up back to where they started at address. You're typically this way.
Yep, I lose it. And, you know, it's not that you're trying to literally turn away from your arm. It's just the arm action is so different when it swings out in front of you. As you turn, it creates that little space there.
Yes.
Instead of immediately pinning
we're talking 10 degrees.
Yeah, it's not much.
Not a lot. So you're not trying to do something weird. You're just not trying to go in for sure, which is, you know, maybe the most common backswing issue that golfers have is too in too early.
Or that people have been taught hands in, club out for so long.
So long.
I won't say epidemic because I say it all the time, but it's pretty bad.
It is one of the bad trends for sure. One of the bad things we see. So there's more. If I'm turning, and then again, this arm's got to go up. So if I'm turning and getting my arm up, that's going to create that disconnection so I can connect it. And you always talk about there's flow to every movement pattern we can track, right? So if you think of the elbow or the knee, right? We'll use the knee for example. Let's say it starts at 20 degrees. It doesn't stay 20 degrees the whole backswing. It'll straighten a little early and then bend the last half of the backswing. So there's always a flow to it. Same with this angle. We as golfers want to think, okay, if I can just set something and keep it and not have to change it, it makes the swing simpler.
It's the biggest myth in golf. Trying to simplify it by locking something down is
There's got to be a flow to this.
a terrible idea.
All right, so let's do one where you actually feel that flow, and we'll see what it looks like from down the line here.
Ready?
Yep.
That's my best interpretation.
Okay. It looks dead normal.
For sure.
Okay.
I need to do that on every swing.
You didn't get in early, which is your tendency. We've done enough swing coach videos now where we've kind of established that's the tendency. So let's put you on gears now and do that, and we'll see what the numbers are.
Cool. Same thing.
Try to make that same movement. We'll see what it did.
Think my way through this here. I did my best.
We actually have a training aid that's coming out that's going to help with this.
Yep, it's going to be
It's in
really
prototype
good.
right now, but we will be showing it hopefully soon. But in the meantime, it's so helpful to understand the concept of this. Okay.
So that one, I really tried to keep my arm across at impact.
Okay. Your number at the start was, I said 32 earlier. It was 31. So I was off by 1 degree.
I went a little more.
Okay. So that's where you started at. That number should now decrease, which it's doing. Right. 10 degrees. Very common number that decreases with tour players. And now it should start to increase. So almost back to exact starting number. Then let's see if you were able to keep it connected.
I'm working on lining the club.
Not
up
bad.
there.
So we're basically right around that 30 at start, 30 at top, 30 at impact.
And look at that lean. That's good for me. 6 degrees.
Yeah. You're trying to take away lean.
Yeah, so my major issue, again, is this handle drag. I'm pulling along the grip for too long. So for me, keeping this arm across lets the wrist unload the way they're supposed to, and I can get, maximum energy out into the golf ball. If you're this way, you're not delivering what you can to the ball.
You've spent years trying to make your arms do this relative to the body. So you can see that adduction angle is going ding, 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 ding,
I was
like this.
taught to immediately pull and then twist
Yeah.
with a hangback with my upper body, and it takes a long, trust me on this, it takes a long time to dig yourself out of some of these holes.
It does. It does. That's why we are so big on the concepts, because it goes, especially now, the internet wasn't around, or the social media wasn't around when you were doing all this. The guys are just pulling swing concepts out and trying it and don't really have a clue of how these concepts, how far they can take, how long they can take to come out of them.
No.
You can't try something for 6 months and then turn your brain off like you never tried it. 6 months sometimes can mean 6 years of recovering from that concept.
And it's locked into a way that you don't even know you're doing it. But yeah, I mean, for me, that just this idea of the flow, and that the last part of the flow, you're using that to delay the last throw in the finish,
Yes.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think, if you just have the concept of, or understand the concept that is not a set it and forget it, pretty much anything in the swing, and then there needs to be a flow. Like, we've got to create movement patterns. Just like with anything in the golf swing, if your concept is to set it and forget it, to simplify things, things are not going to work properly.
No, and I think it kind of goes back to that elephant's trunk idea. If the trunk turns, he's actually going to turn away from that
His trunk.
for just a second before it catches
Right.
up, and then it's going to catch up the other way. But I think a good way to practice it again, when we send somebody off to practice, we don't know if they're doing it right. The hand path in the early part of the backswing can tell you a lot.
Right.
A lot. So
Right.
if you have your swing coach set up, down the line, hand path at takeaway.
I mean, everyone watching this video has probably thrown a ball at one point in their life. If I'm used to releasing my throw right here, why don't I just keep it here the whole time?
Right.
Wouldn't be very good, but it
basically
would
what you-
simplify it. No, I've got to let this angle have a flow to it. So we do it in everything else we do, but for some reason with the golf swing, it just seems to make sense because there's so many moving parts to a golf swing. But a lot of those you shouldn't have to think about if the concept's correct. So hopefully this is one. Elephant's trunk ideas are great. Just know that this arm needs to have some disconnection. Now, we're not trying to go this way and create a gap there, but we're also not trying to pinch it and keep that same pressure that we have it set up.
Yeah, I mean, I can feel just with a left arm only takeaway. I've got a little spacing
Yes.
here. And that feeling right there, you can squeeze it a little in transition, and that will hold till impact, and you get that tour look.
Right. So hopefully this will help you if you just are tired of seeing inside takeaways, but you're trying to stay connected. These concepts start running into each other and headbutting each other after a while, and we want you to understand what happens in great swings so you can start to put more of those great swing movements into your swing.